Yeah, that one, I think everyone will kind of have the same reaction on the team to that one. It's like it's gut-wrenching. You know, it hurts. It almost brings a tear. Not almost. It did bring a tear to my eye. That one hurts a lot. Not as a football player. It has nothing to do with football. Just as a person, as an individual, he's a really special kid, and it's been a joy to have him around. It's been a joy to have him, just be part of what we've done this year, and really just to see a kid come in with the energy, the enthusiasm, and the hunger he has, and to display the skills he has, but then also overcome a lot of things that people said, they didn't think he'd be able to overcome. And he really developed into what I would consider one of our best players on offense. I think a lot of the team would say the same thing. So that part, that's what's really hard about football. That one hurts a lot. And those aren't easy shoes to fill. But as far as moving forward, kind of as I've already alluded to, because we've shuffled, feels like almost every position so often this year. Same as I've said earlier in the year with receivers. We have a group of guys that we feel really good about. They're all really good to elite in certain areas. They all have special traits. And we try as much as we can to play to those skills and to those traits. And, we want to take advantage of those as it relates to Metch and Hutch. It's kind of the same thing. We think both of those guys do some things very, very well, and we want to take advantage of that and put those guys in positions to do that. I mean, if I knew that was going to happen, yeah, 1,000%, like I kind of said earlier, that makes you sick. But as it relates to just that play, I mean, kind of like I alluded to with receivers already, we know everybody kind of has strengths and everybody has things we don't necessarily want them doing all the time. But your best players are going to be on the field, especially when they're involved in the game plan, like red zone, third down. Tank's going to have passes. We're going to get him the ball, and we can't just put him out there only on passes because, that's almost disrespectful to other coaches. Like, they know that. That's the first thing you look for, is someone on the field, and what do they do? Are they involved in the run game or not, So we try to help, for sure, him, keep him away from it. That particular play, that one, that's one he's the furthest receiver out on the backside of a run, and a hole showed, and DP hit it, and it's just, that's one of those that we've talked about as coaches all the time. How can we help this? And I don't really have an answer right now, But yeah, that it hurts. I'd say it's been both ways, right? Like, there's been some games where first half it feels like we're locked in, and then the second half we've fallen off, and vice versa. We've had some hard-fought first halves where we're not doing much, and then the second half we've kind of rallied and we came out and we played some really good football. I would say probably the best thing we do right now as an offense is handle situations, in particular 2-minute, going into half and at the end of game, and that's really shown. And everything in between there, when we play clean football, and I've been saying this for like 6 weeks now, when we play clean football, we do what we want to do. Not saying it always works, but at the very least we're efficient and we're on the field more often and we give ourselves more ops. And a lot of times when we're not on the field a lot, it's because we're kind of getting in our own way. We're not playing clean. This past week, the second half, we had probably more mental mistakes in a half than we have all year. And it's not always just mental. There's some games where it's all fundamentals. There's some games where, it's just being on the same page and tying back to stuff we've been doing since OTA. So I think there's a lot that goes into it. I can't isolate on one specific thing, but it all really just boils down to we got to play clean football. We got to be able to execute what our intent is when we go out there and just give ourselves a chance. We're trying a lot. I've been throwing darts at a board for about 8 weeks now. Some of it's been cutting down some of the game plan. Some of it's been isolating the specific parts of the game plan. Some of it's been maybe trying to help some people out in certain areas. But then when you do that, it's other people that have more on their plate, and trying to find the right balance right there. We've been shuffling a lot of things around in a lot of different areas kind of over the course of 8 weeks or so, and trying to really find the best, say, calibration of where we can get that good balance of having enough where we can take advantage of what the defense is doing and also going out and executing. Based on last game, I'd say we haven't found that yet, so we're still kind of looking. There's a lot of challenges. I wouldn't even say it's like just the front, and the front is kind of the engine that makes the fire truck go. You know, he's a big vehicle because it's a really good defense, you know. But they're second-level players. They're backers, probably some of the best backers we've played all year. I mean, they're up there with kind of top 2 or 3. The back end is really good. They got guys that make plays on the ball. They're competitive. They're very clean. There's no bust. They're where they're supposed to be, which just makes it very hard for the quarterback to quickly diagnose and throw to big windows. You know, we're going to be throwing into some small windows a lot in this game, and we got to be very precise and on it. And then you add in the D-line and the pressures, and, you know, it's something we really got to take care of as coaches. We got to help out for sure. But just as much as it is on scheme, it's going to be on guys, you know, being aggressive in their sets, making sure we're covering guys up. We're not getting displaced or moved back, and it's going to be on the receivers and the tight ends and the quarterback on playing on time and really as much as we can playing on rhythm. It is a good question because that's a constant fight, right? You know, I'd say the last couple of games we've had more off schedules than really we want to, and a lot of it goes back to the mental errors and assignments. You know, there's been some critical errors on a lot of plays, in particular on third down, that we know we have to clean up. He's been making it work regardless of that, you know, but ideally we want to play when we're working at our best, when we're really clicking on third down and in situational football. You know, we're playing on time, we're playing on rhythm, and we're getting the ball to our guys' hands and letting them go transition and make plays. And the other thing it does, it helps protection a lot. So that's always been a big emphasis for us. But to be able to do that and to get there, you know, everybody's got to be part of playing fast at the quarterback position is you go to spots. You know, like you get a picture of the concept, you have command of what's going on, and you can click from 1 to 2 to 3. And I think CJ does a great job of showing this, and he's special in this way. He can click from 1 to 2 to 3, but when he clicks, he's going to space. And when guys aren't showing up in the space when they're supposed to, it becomes really hard to operate on rhythm and on time. And that's a lot of what we've dedicated the last 3 weeks to. And in particular, this week's been a big emphasis because we got to make sure we get the ball out. I mean, they're really good up front. And like I already alluded to, there's tight windows we'll be getting it to. And then the biggest thing in the off schedule, you know, we teach them basic rules along the same frame right there as far as, you know, generally where CJ can expect people to break to and go. But everything outside of that is a little bit of playground ball. Like they're just really good players making special plays, which has been really fun to watch.